Hey everybody, Joe from Passion Unchained here. Another Tinder profile roast. I am so excited for this one. This is a new friend of mine, really cool dude, and I'm looking to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about his profile. Stay tuned. Welcome back everybody, Joe here. Let's get right into it. His name is not Jared, but I'm going to call him Jared. So the way I'll do this, I'll go over all the photos, just describe them without my opinions involved, and then I'll go into each one bit by bit. There's one hilarious photo I'm going to leave for last. I'm not even going to preview, and you'll have to see that one for the first time on screen. Let's get started. So this is Jared. Looks like he's mid-step. It's got a warm feel to it. There's a lot of sun. It might not be, but it gives me Florida vibes for some reason. This one right here is him out partying with 3 really attractive girls. And this one right here looks like a headshot. I believe this one's done with a professional camera. You can tell because if it's done with portrait mode, there's going to be an imperfect border between the person and the background. The background will be blurred, but the phone has to guess and cut out the person. And it often, especially with the spiky hair like that, it doesn't get it perfectly and it cuts off some hairs. But it looks really, really well done. So I imagine that that's actually in camera and it's optical and it's not portrait mode. Although I might be wrong because portrait mode is getting better. And then there's the fourth photo, which I am going to show you only right when I'm reviewing it. First of all, he deleted Tinder and he hasn't reinstalled it. He's about to reinstall it. But that's why I don't have a whole Tinder profile grid, because this is actually not online on his profile yet. He wanted my advice before he uploaded it. I really love this profile. There are some criticisms I have of it, but in general, it is a really great start. It puts him at least in the top 20% of guys on Tinder, if not the top 10%. When you get to the top 5% of guys on Tinder, that's when the magic happens. That's when you get a lot of matches and you're able to go on as many dates a week as you want. I'll go through each individual photo, and I'll also share the criticism I have and the suggestion of the order of photos to go into, and also a suggestion of what photos to add. The main 2 criticisms I have are one of these photos I don't think he should put on his profile, and he should also add a certain type of photo. But let me go into each photo, explain why I do or don't like them, and then I'll share the hilarious photo at the end and let you know why it would or would not be good for his profile. So here's the first one that I mentioned. I love his stance. It's very candid. And his fashion is also good. It's not outstanding, but it's baseline great. The shirt fits good. The jeans, I don't know exactly what it is. There's some sort of black dark pants you can only see the top of. They're fine. It's very simple, but sometimes simple, as long as it fits well, is perfect. He also has a nice watch on. You can see by the band. The background, it's not super interesting, but it's also intriguing enough. And the sun in his face, he might actually live here, but it gives me travel vibes just because of the sun, the warmth, and the way that he's walking. It reminds me of an Instagram travel photo, even though the background is just a random city. I really like this one because it shows him clearly, and it shows him in a flattering light. Like I said in my last video, that is perfect for a first Tinder photo, is show as much of yourself as you can clearly and in a flattering light. This is the second photo. He is out on the town with 3 girls, and they're pretty attractive too. And this is where almost everybody else I see giving dating advice is completely wrong. They tell people not to put any photos of you up with other girls. This is extremely common, bad information, and I'll tell you why it's a good thing to put photos with girls up. The only exception is when you're super lovey-dovey with the girl, or you're making out with this girl on your profile. Obviously, you don't want to put that up on your profile. Having a photo where it's clear that these girls are comfortable with you, but at the same time, you and the girls aren't dating, that is absolutely perfect, and I will explain why. When girls see other girls on your dating profile, there are a couple reactions they can have. Number 1 is the reaction that everyone thinks all girls have, and the reason they say not to put photos on your profile with other girls potentially will get jealous. And I'll explain why that's not a big deal, and actually might be a benefit for you. Number 2 is they could be like, oh, well, this guy seems like he's comfortable with girls, and the girl seems like she's comfortable with him, so I feel a little more comfortable with him now. It lowers the possibility in her mind that you could be a weirdo. Because if you are comfortable with girls and girls are comfortable with you, especially if they're attractive, then she can relax a little bit knowing that you're not a weirdo who doesn't know how to deal with girls at all. And then also, depending on the background or what you're doing with the girls, especially in this situation, it applies. She could be like, oh, well, he looks like he's fun. This photo, everyone's smiling. He's smiling not in a goofy way, but in a confident, I'm having fun way, and this is what I do every Friday night. The reason that girls getting jealous at your photo can be a good thing is if the photo isn't you making out with a girl or you squeezing her boob or her butt or something that is like sexual or romantic or looking deep into each other's eyes, the only girls that are going to get jealous at you with another girl, they're the same girls that in a relationship would get jealous of you hanging with any other girl or looking at any other girl or thinking about any other girl at any moment. And those girls tend to love the drama. A lot of guys like drama too, but in the end, having a relationship with as little drama as possible is the best way to A, have a sustainable relationship if that's what you're looking for, but B, have fun without burning yourself out. Drama can be exciting, but drama is a time sink and an energy sink, and it is not something that is fun except for maybe the short bit of time where it's a little bit of excitement. And putting photos of you with other girls on your dating profile is going to screen out the girls who otherwise would be overly jealous of you hanging out with any other girl platonically. Or if you're looking for something non-exclusive and more casual, then it's going to screen out any girl who's not comfortable with that. This is a huge deal because a lot of my clients come to me and they're like, hey, I'm getting some matches, but they're seeing me as boyfriend material and I'm not getting the kind of matches I want. I'm not getting girls coming to me comfortable with something more casual and fun and sexual, like a fling or a friend with benefits. And this kind of photo is going to screen in girls like that, where you're out on the town having fun with other girls, but at the same time, not super lovey-dovey or romantic. So again, most dating profile photographers or reviewers or YouTubers get this 100% wrong. They say, never put a photo up with you and other girls. And I would say, always put a photo up with you and other girls, as long as it's not super lovey-dovey, and as long as she's attractive, and as long as she looks like she's having fun. This last photo is the headshot photo where he's standing square to the camera and has a nice smile. Behind him, it looks like there's a parking garage. This photo is not bad, but it's not as good as the first photo I showed you. And I don't see a reason why you would need to put both of them up. On your dating profile, every single photo should have a purpose. It should be sharing something about you or saying something about you. The first photo we shared showed him clearly in a flattering light. This photo shows him clearly in a flattering light. But I like the first photo more, and there's no reason to have both of them. So this one, I would not include in the profile. I'm going to get to that last photo that I mentioned earlier soon. But first, I'm going to mention that I would like to see more photos in this profile of this guy doing some of his hobbies or some of his passions. This tells a little bit of a story about him because the second photo is him going out on the town with 3 attractive girls who seem very comfortable with him. That shows that A, he's comfortable enough to go out and have fun and drink, and he is a social guy. And B, he is comfortable with girls and girls are comfortable with him. And that's a good portion past what most guys have. I would say that puts him in the top 10%, that photo alone. But you still don't get a feeling of what it would be like to date this guy. And that's what girls are looking for. Or have a fling with this guy. Or have a friend with benefits situation. Depending on what this guy's looking for, he needs to put other photos in here. And the difference between what you would do if you want to show more edge or more boyfriend material has to do with the setting and the facial expression. You can read a book and have a more welcoming smile and comfortable, relaxed body language. Or you could read that and smirk a little bit. A lot of the vibe of the photo comes in the setting, what you're doing, and the facial expression. I would like to see a little more story in this profile. And that means a few more photos of him doing things that would give that vibe. The last photo here I find hilarious. This is a photo of him when he's 6 or 7. He's sitting on a chair, on a stool, and you can clearly see his butt crack right there. He's looking back at the camera in a guilty way, almost like he was caught doing something wrong. This is fucking hilarious. The reason I love this photo is because it shows that he does not care what people think about him, and he also doesn't take himself seriously. And that combination is magical. Girls want a guy who doesn't care what other people think about him, but they also want a guy who's not a complete asshole. And a lot of people who don't care what other people think about them, they are complete assholes. And that is because they have an inflated opinion of who they are or of what people should do for them. But a person who is comfortable being laughed at or laughing at themselves, laughing at their flaws, that is extremely disarming to women, because you can be as edgy as you want on your profile, but if you make girls a little nervous or a little scared about what you are capable of or how safe you are, then you still will get some girls to come over, but there's going to be a lot of girls who are too nervous because they don't trust you. There is a fine line you have to walk between being edgy and being attractive, and also being someone who's not going to hurt them. Girls are always on guard about whether a guy is safe or not. There are so many stories in this world where guys have taken advantage of women and hurt them in several ways, and girls are generally aware of their vulnerability when it comes to physical threats from guys. Most girls will not be able to defend themselves from a guy without pepper spray or other things, but even then they're taking a big risk going on a date with a guy they don't know. So they want some sense of safety when they go into that date. A photo like this, where this guy is clearly able to laugh at himself, will put a lot of women at ease. I hope that all spoke to you. I hope that this all helped you. I love doing subscriber videos like these where I roast your Tinder profile. I say the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I am excited to do the next few. I have a link in the description to the other ones I've done. If you want to be the next one, please go ahead, email me the link in the description below, send me the photos that you have on your dating profile, and I will go through them one by one and give you the skinny. Looking forward to seeing you next time. I'm Joe. Goodbye.